Hi, this is Troy Eckard, CEO of Eckard Global, having a little afternoon discussion with my partners and some of my future partners about investing in oil and gas. And one of the things I wanted to address this afternoon is what I've seen happen for almost 28 years, and that is you get financially qualified, educated, intelligent investors who gather and gather and gather information about the energy space, and no matter what they look at or what they decide with regards to different companies they may or may not consider investing with, it always ends up being the same thing. They never have the courage, nor do they have the ability or desire to pull the trigger. And by pulling the trigger, I mean becoming involved. So let me take you a little history over the last 28 years of my career. In 1985, I got involved in the oil and gas industry as a licensed investment broker. At that time, oil prices had fallen from $28 a barrel down to $9 a barrel. The oil and gas industry went from 4,600 drilling rigs down to 600 rigs. Companies were filing bankruptcy left and right. And I heard from investors that time, oh, I can't invest in oil and gas because the oil market is in a downfall. The oil market's a bad place to be. Oil's not a place that I want to park money. There's too many shysters and crooks involved. And then at the same time, they invested a ton of money in the stock market. And here we go into Black Monday in 1987, and I watched investors losing a third to half their portfolio in the stock market, and felt like I guess it was a good investment because they kept investing in stocks and bonds. You carry that forward over the next decade or 2 decades, and what we've had is we've had a cycle in normal traditional investments. Real estate. How about the RTC bust of the 1980s? How about the real estate bust of the last 4 years? We look at the stock market. The stock market goes up to 5,000, down to 3, it goes up to 9, down to 4. We see the dot-com bust in the late 1990s where investors lose a third, half their portfolio. Companies go completely out of business. But investors seem to be very strong. They love investing in stocks and bonds. That seems to be that traditional, floor plan that financial advisors love to sell you on. You got to be in stocks. You got to be in bonds. You need to have a little real estate. Let me sell you in this partnership and that REIT program. And how about an annuity? How about a life insurance policy? And they all make sense based on certain criteria. But let me talk to you about what I know about, which is oil and gas. Let me tell you what I know. Oil and gas is very simple. If you don't have $1 million or more in net worth of investable capital, not counting your home and furnishings, you don't qualify. It's really not for you. It doesn't matter how good the investment, you really are not suitable for the energy space at this level. You need to buy public stocks and something where it's a little more fragile, a little more liquid, a little more mobile. If you have an income over $240,000 a year, you need to be in oil and gas because you're going to pay a substantial amount of your income in federal income tax. And many of you may not know, but one of the only investments that exist in the United States today where you can take 70 or 80% tax deductions on the investment made against your ordinary income is domestic oil and gas exploration. Massive tax write-offs for those of us who make a lot of money. I make a lot of money, and I've been using it for 28 years. And I've got a lot of wealthy clients who use oil and gas as a way to preserve their net worth by staying active against paying too much in federal income tax. They put their money to work. It makes more sense for them. But remember, I started this whole presentation with the question, why is it that so many investors procrastinate or never take action investing in energy? Well, let me tell you the 3 reasons why I believe they do that. First, they're really not suitable. They have a limited amount of resources. They may have $1 million in net worth, but they'll never be able to replace it. They either built up a small nest egg and that's all the money they have. They don't have very much income, so they can't afford to lose any money whatsoever. They are very scared that what little money they have to have it at their grasp so they can use it at a moment's notice if they have bad health or a car wreck. So really, to me, the first example is you're just not suitable. And that's really your choice. We also can help you make that determination, because our job is to protect our investors and make sure you're doing what's right for you. The second reason why most investors don't invest in oil and gas, and I hear this story all the time, and it probably is the saddest excuse you can give. Oh, I've invested in oil and gas before, back in the 80s or the 90s, or I invested with a guy last year, and it looks like I lost my money because, they didn't drill a good well, they were crooks, they overcharged me. The investment didn't pan out for all the reasons other than it just didn't work. But the fact of the matter is that oil and gas doesn't have to be a risky investment. It can be a strategic investment that's made with a lot of care and with the right people. In the U.S. shale plays, they're running a 98% success rate, so I don't think I've had to use the word dry hole in probably 3 years. The reality is your risk is not generally in a shale well. It's not in the ground of these non-conventional resources. It's in a guy like me sitting here giving you a presentation who's marked his deal up 4 times the cost, knowing that you'll never make your money back because he's so overcharged you to begin with. Or maybe the person who's asking you to invest is in fact somebody who has cease and desist orders. They've been sued by their investors. They've changed their company name 5 or 6 times. So you're not investing because your feeling is, I've tried it once or twice, I'll never do it again. And here's what I'm going to challenge you. You've lost money in stocks, you still invest in stocks. Some of you have been married 2 or 3 times, you're now married the 3rd time. You didn't give up on finding a partner for life. Some of you have business partnerships that failed, others that have been very successful. Some of you have tried, and most of you, my clients are entrepreneurs, have tried multiple businesses. Some worked, some didn't. But you never stopped taking the information and being smarter and better educated the next time you went out. So my challenge to you is, don't not invest in oil and gas. Take the lessons of what you have done, why it didn't work, and be smarter this next time. And third and last, let me tell you why most people don't invest in oil and gas. They really don't do it because they plan on making energy part of their portfolio as a foundation or cornerstone. And some of the wealthiest people I know in this country have oil and gas as a nice big fat cornerstone in their portfolio. And here's why. The carpet you stand on, the tie that's made on my body or my clothes today, the room I'm in, 85% of it's petroleum product based. Virtually 100% of everything in my office building was trucked here or manufactured using petroleum product. And the last time I checked, I don't think you're going to use a windmill to propel a car down a highway on a windmill driven road based on wind energy to propel or generate that power. And what you have to ask yourself is, in all your investments and all your stocks, the reality is without oil and gas, you're not going to have an economy that's worth very much success. So I'm going to leave you with today the following. Stop procrastinating. Take action. Own part of the shale revolution. Call Eckard Global today, 800-527-8895.